from the shores of beautiful Lake Coeur d'Alene in the heart of North Idaho. Local, regional, national, and international guests discuss their topics on our forum, the North Idaho College Public Forum. With your host and moderator, political scientist, Tony Stewart.
Welcome to our program today. We're very honored to have with us some members of the National Song and Dance Company of Mozambique who have been performing on our campus at the time that we're doing this program. We have three guests that we are pleased to welcome to the United States and to our program. Let me introduce David Abilio, who is the General Director of the company. Welcome, David, to our program, and we're very pleased to have you here, and it's exciting to be in a community where we have such wonderful guests and entertainment. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's a pleasure and honor to be here with you.
And may I ask you to introduce the other two guests that we have with us today? I understand we have one of your dancers here today, and also we have your translator and involved in production. If you would introduce who you have with you today.
Okay. Here is Dawa. She's a dancer in my company since 4 years. She started to dance in my company. And
Dawa, let me welcome you to the program. Happy you're with us today.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and Matthias is our friend from Brazil. He helped us with translation because, in fact, we are not speak English, we speak Portuguese.
You do very well. Matthias, welcome to the program, and thank you for being with us today, too.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to the questions in the next 30 minutes. And as always, I'm very pleased to have our regular panelist, Janelle Burke, who's an attorney in the state of Idaho. And at this time, we're going to invite Janelle to ask questions to our guests.
Well, my first question is for you, David. Can you tell us something about your company, about your dance company, how it was formed?
Yeah, my company was formed in 1979 as an amateur dance group, and in 1983 became a professional. And since then, we've toured over the country and in the most country of the world.
And you have a particular style of dancing. What do you call that?
We call that is a Mozambican dance. In fact, we have 3 durations in our style of dance. One of them is come from research. We do research of the countries. We collect the ethnic dance for different ethnic groups of our countries, and we try to preserve and to promote. Yeah, this is one style. Other one is with this research we're doing, we use as a material to do what we call Mozambican contemporary dance. So we introduce story, what you're going to see. And the third styles, it's a fusion. That means we fuse the Western contemporary and traditional dance, because my dancer, he was trained in different techniques as a ballet and modern dance too.
It's very interesting. Dawa, tell us something about yourself. How old are you and how long have you been dancing?
I'm 21 years old, and I'm in the dance for 4 years.
And you've studied in your own country, and you've done much traveling, I take it.
Você estudou dança lá no Moçambique mesmo? Você tem viajado bastante?
Sim, estudei a dança na Companhia Nacional de Canto e Dança e já viajei bastante e estou feliz por isso.
She's saying that she's very happy about doing this, they dedicate their lives to this, and the place she started doing all the trainings was the place they call Companhia, which is the dance company they are at all the time.
Thank you. Now, we've just had a little sample of your translation for people. So tell us again, have I got your name right? Is it Matthias?
Yes.
Matthias, tell us a little something about where all this dance company has been. Where have you gone? Let's start with this particular tour and say where some of the places are that you've been.
It's my first time touring the United States with them. So I used to do this job a lot for more than 10 years in my own country. I moved into the United States in 12 years, and I haven't had a chance to do all this touring all the time because I do something different in New York where I live. But it's very interesting because I met the producer, the agent who was bringing them here into the United States 3 years ago as a person that you meet in the theater, and then we just talk over the phone for Christmas time now, and he told me that he would have something very good for me to do because they're coming. And since they are something that I absolutely love, and the work and everything, also because my roots are there, because my grandfather was from the same country, I thought, oh, this is for me, absolutely. I want to do this job, and I'm here.
So where have you been? You started out on the East Coast, I take it?
Yeah, we start on Cambridge. We did some states over there in the East Coast, and then we came all the way to San Francisco, performed in Arcata, Medford, here tonight, tomorrow in Pullman, and then we go back to the East Coast to do more states, passing by Vermont, New Hampshire again, no, Vermont and Cleveland.
So you're going to be doing a lot of different states on this tour. Now, David, tell us something about the music that accompanies your dance.
Yes, the music is we use the traditional instruments, drums and marimba from Chopi. This is an ethnic groups inside of Mozambique. So our music is based with these kind of instruments, but we compose it for ourselves. We have in the company the composer and the lead of the orchestra.
Now, my next question is for Dawa, something about your training in terms of you must be a very good athlete, because it looks to me, I've had the pleasure of seeing just a little bit of what our audience is going to see in a few minutes, and it looks to me like you have to move very quickly and move very fast and have great ability to coordinate your movements. Perhaps you can tell her, Matthias, what I need to know.
Você entendeu o que ela perguntou? Que você deve ser uma pessoa muito bem preparada fisicamente e ser uma ótima atleta, já que o trabalho que vocês desenvolvem requer tanto esforço e tudo isso. Ela quer que você fale alguma coisa a respeito disso.
Sim.
Como é que você fez todo esse treinamento e chegou a ter essa forma boa para poder desempenhar esse trabalho que vocês fazem, que requer muita exigência física?
Bem, eu já vinha dançando na escola primária. E dançava, não sabia o que era dança, só dançava assim. Saí da escola primária, fiquei sem estudar. Praticava pequeno basquete, handebol, deixei de praticar isso, entrei nas artes marciais, deixei. E procurei onde é que se dança, escola de dança ou casa de cultura, companhia, para poder entrar lá dançar. Ouvi que existia e fui lá. Foi lá onde eu vi uma coisa diferente daquilo que eu já havia feito. Fui ver de que o maior treino que eu tive foi na companhia, do que onde eu já havia passado. É por isso que agora estou assim como eu estou. Entrei na companhia, tinha um bocado de corpo. Não era muito gorda, né? Mas também não era tão magra assim como estou.
She's saying that she's been losing enough weight in the last couple of years, but all the training goes back to the childhood. They start dancing over there very early. I think it's something very common in the country that they start dancing in family parties and everything. It's part of the everyday life. And after the childhood passed, she went into as a teenager, she tried to do something in sports. And then stopped that and started looking for a place where she could feel very happy and feeling like part of a team. And that was the place she found in this place, their company, when she felt very happy about meeting David and all the people there. And she started dedicating her life to develop all these beauties that they do.
David, may I come back to you and ask about the company? how many travel in the company, how many dancers you have, and how many other people does it take as you tour, as you're doing now?
Yeah, for this tour, we take only 30, including myself. But my company, we are about 50, including technician, administrative staffs. Yeah.
And when your company is and it's complete or full as the number of dancers, how many dancers would you use, for example, in Mozambique when you were not traveling?
When we are not traveling, I use 24 dancers, 12 male dancers and 12 female dance, and I have 7 musicians. So 24 plus 7 musicians is what we use in Mozambique.
So a 31 member
yes.
performance group.
Yeah.
As to your music, we've often said in our global look at the world that music is one of the most powerful ways to communicate. And would you share with us your views and your company's views on, isn't this you're wonderful with your language, but we have different languages in the world, and so we say that there is a common language, and that's music.
Yes.
That we can all appreciate that.
Even in our country, we face many problems with language. You know, we are multi-tongue society. We have more than 30 different languages, and Portuguese, our official language, only very few people they can understand. That way we use music and dance as a way to pass the message for over the people in my country. So there's not only the question of communicating with the people abroad, but even in the country. So that way these are powerful of music and dance because there's no boundaries for the, yes.
So well put. So it unites your country through music, and now you're joining us in other countries with this music. David, if we may, we want to take a little break, and you and our other guests, Matisa and Daw, may want to make some comments. We're going to show a video at this time. Thank you for bringing that by so that our viewers that are in other states and in Canada that can't be here for your performance tonight, they can enjoy some of this on video. So I'll ask our producers to do that at this time. Here we see some of your video, courtesy of your dance company. And Matisa, maybe you would like to start by sharing with us something about the dance.
This is a piece that I don't know, so they are telling me about. David has something to say about that.
David?
Yes, this is a piece about environmental education. As you know, in Africa, now we are faced a problem about desertification.
Oh,
tornar desert.
Yeah, the country becoming more and more desert, with desert areas.
Yeah, because the people, they destroy the forest. They make fire, they use for different purposes, and they not take care about the forest. And so we make this piece to teach people in order to know how much important is the forest as a natural resource that they can help even the sustainability of the community himself. So is that.
So in the music there are also messages about the world in which we live and the environment. In addition to this, in this piece we're seeing, is this all about this particular issue, or is there something else?
Yeah, it's about environmental, that the people, they must be careful with not to destroy the forest, because the forest could be a very important resource for the community. So for self-management of the forestry.
What are some of the other messages that you have in your dance, in addition to the one that you're seeing here now? What are some of the other issues or ideas that you portray in your music?
Yes, one of the ideas that we use, as you know, that in Africa, the people was divided for different tribes. So it's most important to teach people about the story in order to help or to reinforce the unity. So sometimes we have issues about the story. Also, we have issues about democracy. As you know, that democracy is in Western view, this is new in Africa. So we have to help people to understand what is a democracy is, what it means, and to encourage people about the human rights and issues like this. Also, you know that we have other problem about AIDS, and especially in my country, 700 people was infected every day, and we are 17 million people. So if we are not doing nothing now, so in next future the situation could be more dangerous. So we use the dance to teach people to prevent this disease. So it's this kind of issues that we do with our music and dance.
Thank you so much. In addition to these political issues and health issues, does your dance also have other areas of that would not be political in nature, wouldn't be dealing with certain issues, but would be some other form of entertainment?
Yes. In fact, we are not considering this is a political nature. No, these are more cultural and society education. You know, people have to be more responsible in terms of his life. But we have also entertainment programs. For example, the second act that you're going to see today is just entertain. And also we do main experiment dance. For example, when we're performing contemporary dance, like Western dance with very abstract elements, it's just for entertainment. So we do both things.
That's true of music all over the world. We see that American music too, like jazz and so forth, that has different messages. Batista, since you have this wonderful roots that go back through your grandfather to Mozambique, as you've worked with this company, now what has that meant to you and your roots about the messages that maybe you've learned from music?
You promise no difficult questions. I can only answer that in the personal side.
Sure.
If you allow me to. It's been difficult, especially in the very beginning, because I'm supposed to be here to work, and in a professional way of seeing things, you have to be straight in everything. But since the language identification and all the way they do things day by day, and the lots of love they have one for each other, and all that fascinating kind of relationship, plus the fact that I just love music and everything that comes with it, was very difficult for me to keep my crying things behind the scene all the time in the very beginning, and because it's the emotional and the strength of the work is tremendous. It's like everything going straight to my heart all the time, and I get so involved, and I start touching the instruments and talk to them as brothers and sisters. And David knows all that.
Sounds like they've just adopted you right into the company. Anyway, that was a wonderful answer to the question.
Well, that's absolutely true.
Sure, appreciate that. Janelle Berg.
I need to give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about your country. Let's start with David again, and just tell us, where is Mozambique and what is it like?
Mozambique is in southern Africa. We have a border with South Africa, Swaziland, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Zambia, and Malawi. And this is the war used to be a Portuguese colony, and it became independent in 1975. We are about 17 million of people, and now we face a terrible disaster with flooding. I think you know that.
Yes.
Yeah, that so many people, million of people, they lost everything that they got, and also 100 people, they died. But this is a country where people do work so hard to improve his country. Before this disaster, for example, last year, the growth of the economy in Mozambique was about 10% a year. This is really high level. And unfortunately now, we will delay more 10 years to reconstruct everything what was destroyed. But with due solidarity, with solidarity of the people over the world, we think we will win again.
Yes. Okay. And then I need to ask Dawa about families. What kind of family life do you have in Mozambique?
You're talking specifically about herself. Or about
yes, or in general, what kinds of families would people have? What kind of family structure? Are they close with their grandparents, for example?
Right. Ela quer que você fale alguma coisa de como é o quadro das famílias em Moçambique. Como que as pessoas vivem, como que elas são unidas ou não, ou se as pessoas têm que se separar por questões econômicas ou de trabalho, ou se as pessoas são mais unidas e todo mundo é junto. Algo assim nessa área.
Ok. Bem, falar em Moçambique, né? Lá em Moçambique, as famílias são unidas, não são assim separadas. E têm vivido desta maneira, pelo menos ali onde eu estou a viver, como eu assisto, porque eu não tenho tido muitas saídas de ir para a casa do vizinho, ver como é que elas vivem, não sei o quê. O que eu sei é que somos unidos. Uma pessoa, quando não tem nada, consegue bater a porta do vizinho, ir pedir, o vizinho dá. Quando uma pessoa tem criança doente e não tem quem ajudar, tu vais ao vizinho, bates a porta e o vizinho consegue ajudar. Quer dizer, nós vivemos na base de ajuda. Não digo que não há conflitos entre vizinhos, entre famílias, mas também temos união, que é a unidade.
She said that she cannot follow pretty much the whole country way of behaving in this family issue in terms of how they handle the problems, but the basics about how people relate to each other is like getting that in their, bringing that, having that in their blood. Even it's part of the education they have. That since somebody isn't experiencing any kind of problem, material problem, any kind of thing that they need from their neighbors or friends or family related people, they are always there to help each other. Nobody is afraid or shy to knock next door and ask for something that they need, and they always count on each other. This is a really strong part of their culture over there, the way they survive and pass through all the difficulties.
And let me add something about that. We
Yes.
are an extended family. We are not these...
Not just a nuclear family,
yes,
just a little family,
yes.
but all
we are
your
extended
relatives.
family. That means my family is grandfather, grandmother, my uncle, my nephew, and these people around belongs to the family as a nuclear family. We are not called families only father and children's. We belong to the very extended family.
In relation to that, as you travel other places and you share this wonderful music and wonderful message, how do you react to other parts of the world, and what could you share with us about our country? And we so appreciate your sharing your culture.
Yes.
Is this something also that is a pleasure to you as you see other peoples of the world and what they're doing too?
Yeah. It's a pleasure because we was really well received in over the country where we toured, and we are surprised. You know, my country was well known as a country of war, country of poverty, country of everything is the bad. And nobody can expect that in this country there are company like mine. So this is the first surprise for the public. And the reaction also is a surprise for us. We didn't imagine that we can receive a very, very warm acclaim, even in Asia, even in the North Europe, like in Norway, where people used to say that people are very cold. Yeah, even in Brazil, where people, it's really incredible. Yeah, so we were surprised. Here in States, for example, in final of the first part, in main theater, the people, they stand up and clap. Yeah, in final of the first part, this is not usually, even for us. So this is a great surprise for us.
And another question would be that for any of you to answer, whichever one that wishes to do so, what else do you find in your travels that in some way you've been very wonderful and articulate in talking about how you've been received? How in any way does this changed your life or affected your life? It certainly affects us, and we appreciate it very much. It enriches us. And so how, in what ways and we've talked about this some on the show already, but how has it affected you?
First of all, now I think we are look like como que se diz, cidadãos universais. Cidadão universal.
Citizens of the world. That's the way they explain that they feel.
Yeah. What a wonderful statement. The clock wins. We're out of time, but what a great note on which to end the citizens of the world. Thank you for being with us today. I must take time to say that we are grateful to the Idaho Commission on the Arts, who was a co-sponsor of bringing this wonderful group to our city, Coeur d'Alene, and to North Idaho College, the National Song and Dance Company of Mozambique. And we are appreciative to them and also to local supporters here in Coeur d'Alene for our guests and our program. Again, thank you for being in our city. We hope you'll come back at some future time and be with us. It's been a pleasure having you on the program. And Janelle Burke, as always, thank you for your very fine questions. And ladies and gentlemen, this does conclude today's program, which again has been an interview with the director of the National Song and Dance Company of Mozambique and one of the dancers from the company, as well as the translator. Thank you very much. I would like to invite you to be with us again next week at this same time when we will discuss yet another issue. Until then, please have a good week. I am Tony Stewart.
North Idaho College Public Forum is the longest-running public television show of its type in North America and is seen in 7 states and 2 Canadian provinces. Each episode is pre-recorded live and is an educational community outreach from North Idaho College. Please join us again at this same time next week for another new edition of North Idaho College Public Forum on this public television station.